Okay, let's have a look at the answers to these puzzles. First, let's tackle the easy one. In this position, black can give checkmate on the next move, but can you spot it? The first thing to do is to look at these two highlighted squares. Are they safe for the white king? Right, let's have a look. Okay, the white king is stuck, because the black knights are attacking both the squares the king would like to move to. So the next thing to look for is this. Can we use another piece to give check? This rook can give check by moving on to the open H file. We already know the white king can't move, but can this rook be taken here, or could the check be blocked? The rook is safe here, and none of the white pieces can get in the way, so it's checkmate. This is the medium puzzle, and it's black to play and mate in 2 moves. So black makes a move, and whatever white does, then black gives checkmate. But we still have a look at where the enemy king can move to see if it helps us come up with a plan. You can see that the black knight stops the white king moving to f2, and the black bishop stops the white king moving to h2. So at the moment, g2 is the only possible escape square, so we should look to attack along the g file. So let's look at moving our queen, or one of our rooks. If we move our rook to g5, the white pawn will take it. If we move the other rook to g8, the white bishop will take it. And we can't move the queen to the g file, because the white bishop is in the way. But did you spot that this white bishop has 2 important jobs to do? It is blocking the queen, and guarding the g8 square, getting ready to take the rook. That's too much for the bishop to do, so how does black take advantage of this? Actually, white has 2 ways to get out of check. White could block check with the bishop, but the black rook would just take it. The only other choice is to take the rook. But now the bishop isn't blocking the queen anymore, so the black queen can give checkmate. Okay, so let's have a look at this hard puzzle. White to play and mate in 3 moves, and the first thing to notice is that white's bishop stops the black king from moving. So how can we finish the game? This rook journey is stopped by black's pawn. So let's look at the knights. Can they do any damage? Thinking ahead is a really important skill to practice. And thinking ahead is easier if you give check, because your opponent doesn't have so many choices. If either of these knights takes the black pawn, it's check. How many choices does black have? Well, the king can't move, and you can't block a knight check, so black would have to take the knight with the bishop. The best knight to use would be the one on e4. Because now our rook has a lot more space. Okay, this thinking has to go on in your head. You can't try things out on the actual board. But what next? Let me give you a clue. One of black's pieces has 2 important jobs, and that's 1 job too many. The black queen is doing 2 jobs. It is defending the e8 square, and it's defending the f6 bishop. The only way out of check is to take the rook. And now the queen isn't defending the f6 bishop anymore.